Good afternoon and welcome to the May 22nd, 2023 Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. I call this meeting to order. Can you confirm, Ms. Bonk, that we have a quorum?
Yes, you do.
And was the meeting posted in accordance with the Nevada Revised Statutes?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. We all rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the public comment period. If anyone would like to speak, you have 5 minutes to speak on a specific agenda item. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak? There doesn't appear to be any. Are there any callers on the phone?
Not at this time.
And any written comment?
No.
If anyone wants to call in and make public comment at this time, you can do so by calling 702-589-9629. Again, that number is 702-589-9629. Again, this is a public comment period for the Parks and Recreation Commission. Public comment may be made by calling 702-589-9629. Okay, we'll go ahead and close public comment. Appears there is none for the first public comment period. Our first item for action is to approve the minutes of the March 27th, 2023 regular meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll approve.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Those minutes are approved, and our second action item is to open for discussion and ultimately to appoint a vice chairman, Vice Ms. Hess, who resigned from the commission. Do I have any discussion on this topic or a nomination?
Well, I don't know exactly what the position involves, what's responsibilities. Takes over for you when you're not here?
They would probably do a much better job when I'm not here, and exactly there's some documentation to sign after generally each meeting, and if I was absent, they would do that also. But basically, the duties of the chair.
Okay.
So again, I need a nomination. The other two eligible. Any of us up here are eligible, except for me, I guess, and. Steve Robbins and Rodney Woodbury would also be eligible candidates for vice chair.
Can we nominate them if they're not here?
That's probably what happens when you don't show up.
Because I think Stephen Robbins is really quite competent.
Okay,
He's
so
been here.
Do you have a nomination then?
So I'll nominate Stephen.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations?
Woodbury.
Huh?
I'll nominate Rod Woodbury.
Okay, we have 2 nominations. Any other nominations? Okay, hearing none, we'll just take a simple vote. First for Mr. Robbins, second for Mr. Woodbury. The one with the most votes then will become the vice chair. Okay. With an aye, if you would like to vote for Mr. Robbins, say aye.
Aye.
And if you'd like to vote for Mr. Woodbury, say aye. Aye. By a majority Mr. Woodbury has been voted as the vice chair of the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. Ms. Bonk, or one of you can, will let him know.
That's what he gets for not being here.
Okay, item number 3 is a presentation by Cheryl Waits regarding the community gardens. Ms. Waits?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's good to be here. And, oh, here we go. So I am here to speak with you today about our beautiful Boulder City Community Gardens. So I want to show of hands. How many of us know about our community gardens?
I know where it is.
Okay, you're getting close. Okay, very good, good. So this is a recent picture that was taken of the gardens. And tell you a little bit about the history of community gardens at large. So community gardens actually came about in the 1890s. There was an economic recession, and of all places, utilizing vacant lots in Detroit for city to host community gardens, unemployed laborers, and of course there were large numbers of migrants and migrant families that made these up. They did come together and they were able to grow produce, not only for their families, but for the community at large, is where we get the phrase of community gardens. So in years that followed that, we had not only World War I, but we had the Great Depression and then World War II. During these years, we saw that community gardens, also called victory gardens, gave Americans the opportunity to assist with the war effort. So we saw, just like there was an economic crisis of the Great Depression, including the Great Dust Bowl too, that there was a need that was filled by being able to plant, and they did. They planted in yards, abandoned city lots. There were churchyards, playgrounds, you name it. If they found a potential spot, that's exactly what they did with it. So coming forward in future, now during the 60s and the 70s, I hate to call it a movement, but especially during the time that hippies and Love Mother Earth and that movement was with us, we really did see a great increase. And it was more of a popularity that we saw that we had, like our first Earth Day, and many appreciation and groups that were in to support not only the ecology, but each other through that. So we did have a team effort here that we had between the City of Boulder City and our green team, the Hoe and Grow Garden Club, and numerous volunteers, local businesses. I'm leaving many important factors and people out, but they did come together and they made a vision come to fruition for that. So the gardens are home to the Boulder City Kids Educational Outreach Garden. We're always looking at the future of our city, and so we're very proud to have this. This is a relatively new garden idea, but it is based on an old need that is served here in Boulder City. So we love our history, we love our families, and we love the legacy that we're able to bring forward for that. So the Kids Educational Outreach Garden gives an opportunity to many of our organized groups. We have several of the homeschooled kids, as well as scouts. We have several scout troops that come out. We have church groups that come out, and just families at large that they are invited to come and to see our really cool Kids Educational Outreach Garden. We do have monthly tours and events. We have at least once a month that will have an event that's open to the public so the community can come out. We always have nature scavenger hunts for the kids. They also get to play in the worm garden that's part of the educational outreach garden. We have our very own worm farmer, and I've done some research. We are west of the Rockies, the first and only community gardens that has a genuine worm farmer, and that's Maria Dufek. If you know her, make sure you give her a little shout out because she deserves it. So between our monthly tours and seasonal events, we do have twice a year, we have a spring garden festival, and that was completely made possible through Parks and Rec. So they did us such a solid for that to help us to bring that together. We have a plant sale that's involved with that. And a few other goodies that will hit on that too. So we talked about the Kids Educational Outreach Garden. It is in 3 sections too. When you come up, you will see that we built a little structure, tastefully done, I might add. That is their greenhouse, and then we have in the center, we have the vintage arbor that came from the hotel when they stopped doing weddings and events. They had had that arbor since like the 40s, and they were just going to find a place, like at the, I don't know where, but I asked if we could please bring it up. So we have a nice planting area for the kids. We've got all kinds of vegetables in there. We have a surplus of chamomile. So act surprised if a chamomile plant ends up on your desk. All right? So mornings at the gardens. So Saturday mornings are always a good day. Most people, if they've been working through the week and taking care of the families, that's kind of their time where they get to go out and relax and be one with Mother Earth. And so we like to take the opportunity to have people come up to the gardens. They bring their dogs and their kids. And so we'll have like teas and coffees, things like that. We have master gardeners that are out, and we're able to answer questions. But the biggest thing is just to refamiliarize people with the community gardens and let them see the beauty that's there. Are the gardens always in 100% great shape? Compared to some of the times of the past, we definitely are just 100%. And I really do have to defend something about the state of the gardens as it is, too. If you come to the gardens and you see a plot that looks like it's fallow or that it's overrun, don't forget, gardeners are us. We're people, we're learning. There's no learning curve thrown in there to their advantage or a handicap like you're bowling. That there are going to be times where that they are learning exactly how to care for their plot and also for the surrounding areas of it too. It is a community garden, so we are all expected as gardeners to make sure that we take care of that. That is something that we're teaching the community about too. We really don't have any type of disagreement with anyone in particular, or I don't really hear people complaining about the state of the gardens. We've had in the past that the gardens are just like any other area of our city. It gets in the hot seat for a while. But I am pretty sure most of that is already gone for us too. So when I mention about spring in the gardens and fall in the gardens, these are always like our headliner event that lets you know of the other fun ideas and events that are coming up. So Spring in the Gardens introduces us to the annual Boulder City Garden Tour, which Dr. Val was one of our volunteers for that. Did a great job. Our first time doing it, she says, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. And I said, neither have we. So
But I do home tours, so that's generated to garden tour, yard tour.
So, and we do have our next event coming up is going to be for Pollinator Week. This will be our 4th year. And Pollinator Week is an international, it's a worldwide event through Pollinator Partnership International. And I'm glad that we're on the map, that we have the Pollinator Path of Boulder City. We'll be coming back to City Hall to get a brand new proclamation for the event. And anyone that has any plants, if they're in your yard, good chance pollinators have helped them to get there. So that makes you a supporter of our beloved pollinators. And that will be coming up in June. And so we'll turn the town yellow and orange for that too. So we always have something going on monthly that we support through the gardens. Partnerships, wow. And we've got a lot of friends in the community. If you think about like Coffee Cup or Tony's Pizza, or you think about any of the shops like Ace Hardware, they always help to make these events possible, and just the day-to-day operations of the gardens. But we're really happy. I have a Boulder City Grown is a garden co-op. And it has a lot of partners and members of it, one of those being the Mojave Masters Garden Club, which we're in our third year now, and Martha P. King Elementary School. So through the community gardens, so we had our gardeners as volunteers did approach Martha P. King Elementary 3 years ago, and we reestablished their school gardens. So if you're not familiar with school gardens, we'll be open all summer. All you have to do is let us know. And we'd love to give you a tour of that, as well as with Daisy's Oasis. Everybody knows Daisy, right? Okay, that's our desert tortoise. Hollyhocks. So I like that weird show where they have like 10 jobs. Get a job, man. I'm also the hollyhock lady of Boulder City. And if you don't know about the hollyhocks, that's our official flower. And May 8th was Hollyhock Day, but we've been celebrating all month. We'll be finishing out with a bang at the Best Damn Barbecue. So lots of hollyhock seeds and plants that will be given out. And everybody gets a chance to be Grandma Pickett. She's the gal that brought hollyhock seeds to Boulder City in the early 30s. So our annual Boulder City Garden Tour, we mentioned that. That's always the last week of April. And I did talk about Pollinator Week already. So, future of the garden. So, I'm just going to give a little sideways look over here, because I don't want anybody to ever think that I'm usurping any type of authority or approval with anything. But these are ideas that we have talked about for the gardens and have been met with positive input back for that. And I actually threw a couple things in here too. One is for our walkway improvements that I noticed that it's probably time that we get some new chat in. It is a learning experience for gardeners, and when we are in our best efforts trying to rake and clean the aisles, a lot of the chat over the years has gone bye-bye because of that. So we're just getting down a little bit to where it might be nice to give it a little facelift. It's not anything that's on the 911, but I've really fallen in love with shade sails too. Last year I talked to Julie about this, and we just thought that that might be something that would be really great. We could do it like on some of the corners of it. And again, I encourage you, please go to the gardens, take a look. If you have an idea of something that you're like, hey, you know what, this would be really cool for this too, keep those ideas flowing for that too. Purchased equipment, we have never really figured out a way to have a shed, like a tool shed, because of security purposes. Haven't been able to. Again, I'm always the one that shows up to a meeting and throws a few ideas out there, and then I run away. And thanks, Jen, for the new tiller. But and monthly highlights through through city PR. I kind of thought that would be a good idea for us if we had a little more highlights on the community gardens. I have so many people that tell me or ask me, we have a community garden here? So that might be a good idea. Oh, that was it. I do have, just real quick, so we do have some more news about the gardens too. I almost forgot to tell you, we are getting a new little library. Ruben of Ruben's Woodcrafts is going to be giving us, he's been building little libraries for us, so we're going to have one there. And it's going to be a different kind of little library. Well, not only will we have garden books and magazines, we're also going to have plants, cuttings, and seeds. So we are going to be an official seed library. We will be listed worldwide, so we can actually make friends with people in other continents that we're able to exchange seeds with them. And when a call out comes from different areas, if they're in need for a seed, then we're able to provide that too, or put the call out for them as well. So, and a couple things that we did for the gardens that we have in effect now. The educational outreach, we also, for new gardeners coming in, that we're able to give them a welcome basket, so to say. But we have a planting guide, soil testing kits, there's orientation and facts and garden designs, and monthly fun ideas for them. We do have lead gardeners too. So if you're in question or doubt, that there's always somebody that you can call Parks and Rec, and they will give our contact info. They reach out to us, and we go and play garden with them, and it's really a great time too. So the last is our community outreach too, or Friends of the Garden. I wanted to emphasize something that we started with this, and it is introductory, but we do have a waiting list. In the past, that has been kind of an issue. That people, they want to come out and have fun at the gardens too. And I thought, why can't we do both? Why can't you be on the waiting list and also come out and have the events of the gardens? It makes you an official friend of the garden, and you're able to participate in everything that we have. And the first being that you're notified of the upcoming events. Kind of back to makes the circle with the city PR. So I really appreciate you giving me the time to talk about this. I hope I didn't go on too much, but we're really proud of the gardens. We're super proud and happy of the support that we have from Parks and Rec. I'm the last of the original gardeners there, and my plot is the original director's plot that was given to me by Connie Poling. So way back in the day. So we've seen a lot of changes, but they're all of the positive, and we'd love for you to come out and visit us.
Thank you. Couple questions, if you may.
Yes, please.
You mentioned that you had chamomile and that hollyhock seeds and potentially worms. Can people get those if they were interested?
They can get the purse too. The worms, of course, that they can, when our worm farmer is out, she actually brings her worm farm on wheels, and she can give you not only worms, but she can give you castings too. So you can use those for your garden. And we do have extra strawberries that came out at number 18. We had a bed that was recently leased over now, so we have a new gardener, and she's been very gracious. She's donating a lot of her strawberries that are in her bed that will have those. So again, act surprised if a basket of strawberry plants shows up at the front door.
So if somebody wanted those, how would they get the chamomile or the strawberries or the hollyhocks?
You can contact me. You can reach me through Parks and Rec, and just let me know, and I'm happy to do that. They're always really great about getting in touch with me and letting me know if someone needs something, and I'd be more than happy to spread the love.
Great.
We've got lots of goodies.
Thank you.
Okay,
Any other
thank you.
questions?
Yeah, Cheryl, you said there's a waiting list of people who want to plot in there? or
Uh-huh.
Is it a long waiting list? And
I don't think, this is probably the most manageable that we've been in years. We have had an extensive waiting list and waiting time on the gardens before, but Jen?
We probably have half a dozen
So,
right now. It's the shortest waiting list we've ever had.
is the turnover just?
well, it is annually, and this I can say, the Friends of the Gardens completely eliminates the being left in the closet waiting, I don't know, do I have a plot coming up? Nobody lets me know, you know what I mean? That I'm kind of being dramatic about it, but I want to think of it in the kind of the lowest thought that you would have, like, I don't think anybody's reaching out to us. We have no idea. So the Friends of the Gardens program, actually, once you're on the waiting list, you're contacted just like we are. Hey, the heat is on. Jen is already contacted that we're changing our watering times. It's going to be earlier and later in the day. They get that, so they know, and they're up and they're checking out, the gardens. They're able to see exactly what we're doing. Pollinator Week's coming up, so we had like the garden tour. So these things go out to that how we want to do the program at Friends of the Gardens is that the information goes out to them exactly as it does to the active gardeners, so they feel that they're a friend of the gardens and a participant already.
Well, that's great that Rubens is doing a little library for you guys.
Right.
He's donating that to the gardens.
Yeah. Yeah, we're really excited about that too. I mean, there's just a lot of opportunities for the community at large for partnerships with us too. AAUW can have their own spot, in the seed bank exchange when we do like our seed exchanges, like we do them quarterly. That you can have AAUW, that you could have that as well. And also that you get to come up and to participate when we're doing plantings at the educational outreach or to the director's bed, that everyone's welcome to come out and help out with that as well. Yeah,
We'll get the word out.
okay. I
Anyone else?
appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Item number 4 is action item regarding the Boulder Creek Golf Course and the Boulder City Muni Course. Any discussion on the operational reports? Hearing none, we need a motion to approve those operational reports.
I move.
We have a first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those reports are approved. Now we'll have a verbal report from Director Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Golf in Boulder City is doing really well. Rounds are up, and both courses continue to green up as we get the hot weather for the summer. And when that happens, mowing is a big priority for both courses as the weather gets warmer, obviously. Workers continue to trim around trees and traps and bunkers on the course. They also continue to trim low-hanging branches throughout the course. Weeds are starting to grow, and they continue cleaning the DG areas along the houses on the back 9 and also around 12, 13, 14, and so forth. Irrigation work continues on both courses, replacing old heads and valves in preparation for summer watering. And if you were out there last week, a very large dead pine tree was removed from the municipal course parking lot 2 weeks ago. We're also cleaning up around the clubhouse and making it look nice. And in closing, the Boulder City Golf Course celebrates 50 years of operation this month. And it opened May of 1973. And I worked, there's a number of people who worked on this article, but this article was written by Las Vegas Golfer Insider founder Brian Hurlburt, and it gives a really cool history of the Boulder City Golf Course. And so I passed out copies of this for you. So take a look at that. It's pretty neat story. And I got here in 1977, and I remember being, they were working out of a little trailer right where the cart barn currently is right now. There was a little trailer that the golf pro was, Hugh Jeffries at the time was the golf pro at the time. So it's kind of cool. Read this, you'll get a big kick out of it. Yeah, Brian did a good job with the thing. And then we will be planning a celebration for 50 years at the Muni course and 20 years at the Creek. God, we've been open 20 years at the Creek. So I'll keep you posted. We'll do something real nice once it simmers down a bit. We're very busy at both courses. Andy and his crew are doing a great job, and Turf Tech are doing a great job keeping it green, for the golfers. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Director Hall. Our next item for possible action is pertaining to the Recreation Division, the Parks and Recreation Department. Do we have any discussion on the operational reports for Recreation Division? And hearing none, do we have a motion to approve those operational reports?
I move.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Those operational reports are approved. And now we'll have a verbal report from Program Coordinator Jennifer Spinkling.
Just forgot, I brought you guys the brochure that I told you I wanted to give you last time.
We got enough stuff.
Oh, I haven't.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're beautiful photos. They're
Isn't that cute?
They're great. And I thought, it's out of context here, but remember I was trying to promote the Bootleg Canyon Park because it's so beautiful? And I'm just wondering if maybe in a future edition, we can sneak more pictures of that park in here because that's so cool.
Absolutely, yep. We've got some neat pictures of the different statues, so that'll be a good one.
Okay.
It was probably a few years ago, but it's been a while. So I gave you a copy of our latest brochure and has some new classes in it. One that's not in there yet that I'm excited about, our kids yoga instructor that started a few months ago is finishing up, and I can't remember, it has prenatal and postnatal training, so she's going to offer a Mommy and Me yoga class for little kids. Right now, her classes are for 4 to 7-year-olds and 8 to 12-year-olds, and she'll have some camps this summer. Mindy, our young children's gymnastics instructor, is offering multiple gymnastics classes and camps for ages 18 months to 8 years old. We just hired a ballroom dance instructor. He's tuning his, he's gotten a partner to help him dance with the students, and he's going to start offering classes at the end of the summer. We have Nevada Free Fishing Day is Saturday, June 10th at the Boulder City Pond. It begins at 7:30 a.m. and they'll have lots of activities for the whole family. We're offering numerous camps this summer for kids. Summer Safe Key is all-day camp at ABC Park led by Lexi Leos and her team. They have fun activities planned every day, and it's offered Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then we also celebrated Arbor Day, which we had Cheryl Waits. She came and talked to the kids and gave them some hollyhock seeds. Is that right? And it was really a nice morning. The kids really enjoy it. They plant a tree. Public Works is there. One thing that I've talked to you guys about is the ABC Park Sewer and Paving Project, and they paved on the 9th of May, and today they were striping it. So we're done with pretty much our end. There'll be a little bit more landscaping, but they'll be opening it up to traffic, and it'll be a nicer, prettier area. The Lend-A-Hand building is still being worked on. They slated July 31st. I'm not sure how close they are to that date. And then also recently we had the ABC Park Court resurfacing, And we got 2 new nets that are there, and they're in the box and they're ready for play. And if you haven't been out there to check out the new courts, the whole surface was redone and then they painted them. I think you're really going to enjoy it, my pickleball friends.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, I thought so.
And does the box have, oh yeah, here it is. Beautiful. And how do you access the nets then? Do you have to have a combination?
We have a
code?
combination, it's the same one for Broadbent Park. And there's 2 nets in bags in there, and they're brand new. And we did check to make sure that they have all their parts. So we just ask that people put them back in the bags and put them back in the box and relock it.
Okay.
So,
'Cause I know at Broadbent Park, the ones that have been there've been problems with those, according to my neighbors and stuff, when they go there. So I don't know.
They've generally been in pretty good shape. There's at least one over there damaged right now, but they've been there, a year now, and they've fared fairly well.
Well, my neighbors were over there, and that they're no more. They weren't locked up at all. They used to be locked up with a padlock, with that combination, and then they had to be all reassembled because they were all in pieces. Scott
Yes,
Sutler,
and
Sharon.
that was probably some, vandals. Because I haven't heard anything about that lately, and people
I keep telling them to
enjoy
call
that
you
they're
guys.
already put together and they're very sturdy. So they're kind of nice. You just unhook them and wheel them to your court, and then you can play. Do y'all
I keep
have-
telling them to call you when they find it, and because the custodians and stuff would come help them fix them if they're not working.
Absolutely. We need to know that, so people just need to call us. Because we're happy to fix, order parts if we need to, keep them all in working order.
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions at all?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Next, we have a verbal report regarding the sports program from Zach Murphy.
Hello, I'm Zach Murphy, the Assistant Sports Coordinator. Earlier this month, we kicked off our youth baseball, softball, coach pitch, and t-ball leagues. We're about halfway through as of right now. We have over 230 participants in these leagues. It's also the first time in 3 years we've had enough girls to run a softball-only league. During the summer, we are starting a morning walking challenge at ABC Park. Kids will walk or run for an hour, Monday through Thursday mornings, to see who can get the most miles in this summer. We are also going to have some sports camps offered in the summer. We are still in the planning stages of these. That's the end of my report, if you guys have any questions.
No, excellent job with you and Jamie setting up that opening ceremony. It was well done.
Oh,
Nice
thank
job.
you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us. I know I couldn't make it. Was the weather good?
Yeah, it was
We
nice.
had good weather.
We really liked it. We thought it came out really nice.
And I live over off of Hemingway. Boy, you guys work a lot of hours. The lights are on in that park. How many nights a week until like late?
Yeah, I'm down there
So
a lot.
good work, hard work.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zach. Next, we have a verbal report from Manager Julie Callaway.
Thank you and good afternoon. I have provided you with the list of special events that we have on the schedule currently for the next 12 months. Our entire office staff, but especially Office Assistant Pam Hickey, really works to organize these events and make sure all the event coordinators are in line with their requirements for having special events in Boulder City. We do have a lot of projects happening, finishing, and coming in the near future. We did just finish the outdoor pickleball courts and basketball courts at ABC Park, like Jennifer mentioned. This improvement enhanced the playability of the court and made it a multi-use court so that both pickleball games and basketball games can be equally used on those courts. And she let you know about getting the nets. If you want to go down, you can just contact our office and we'll be happy to provide you with the code. And just to let you know, that brings our total to 10 outdoor pickleball courts in Boulder City, just in case you're ever on a trivia game and you need to know that. The answer is 10. We also are in the middle of a improvement on the basketball court at Hemingway Park.
That one's right down, right in between the tennis courts and the gazebos. It's a concrete slab that, in short of removing the entire thing, to put a new concrete pad, we're actually going to put a modular pad right on top of it. It's supposed to be much more forgiving for the person playing on it and will last a lot longer than the concrete that's underneath it. So that's currently being installed at Hemingway Park. And just last Friday, the construction of our 2 new bike ramps at Veterans Memorial Park was completed. It leaves one center section that needs to be demoed and redone, which will happen in the fall. So that by that time, then basically your entire bike park will be brand new. So that'll be nice, because that is one facility that gets a lot of use. So we're happy to see that be completed. We do have new playground equipment that has been ordered. The first one that'll go in will be at Hemingway Park, because there's just one smaller piece of equipment that needs to go in, and then we're also adding a inclusive swing to that existing swing set, so that'll be just a small upgrade for that facility. We do have larger upgrades that are going to be taking place at Broadbent Park and at Oasis Park, where the large playground pieces are being removed and replaced with upgrade ones. Just one of the ones at Oasis for this go-round. Hopefully next fall we'll be able to do another one of the smaller piece of equipment at Oasis, and then that complete one will be done, and then Broadbent, all of it is being removed and being replaced and upgraded. So we're very excited about that. It is taking a little bit longer. Supply chain issues, we're probably still another 3 or 4 months out for those 2 parks, but it is on the horizon. Purchase orders have been done, money's been set aside, so it's just a matter of time to get it shipped out here and installed. Boulder City Day at Cascada is scheduled for June 5th. It's always a very well-received event. It is full right now. We are starting a waiting list. We may be able to get a few non-Boulder City residents out there, but for the most part, it's going to be filled with Boulder City residents, which is typical of how it goes. So that'll be May 5th. And then finally, I did want to let you know that the dog park at Veterans Memorial Park, just adjacent to the fish pond restrooms, is well underway, moving along pretty quickly. The poles are up for the fencing. The fence curbing is started. It's coming along quickly. There's the entrance pad with the gate to go to the large dog area or the small dog area. That pad has already been poured, so it's coming along quite quickly. So last thing I wanted to let you know about is regarding pickleball. The city is looking into the possibility of doing more outdoor courts, new construction outdoor courts. We're asking any pickleball players to meet us Wednesday, May 24th. That's this Wednesday at 8 o'clock at the Parks and Recreation office, where we're going to have a representative from Sport Court, which is one of the local providers for court surfacing, to just provide local players with some information about different surfaces for pickleball that we might consider for outdoor courts. Any questions?
Maybe? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Item 6, for action pertaining to the Aquatic Division. First, we have any discussion on the operation reports from the Aquatic Division? And hearing none, need a motion to approve those reports.
I'll move.
I'll second.
We have a first and second. Any opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
I got that backwards, but it worked. Now we'll have a verbal report from Cherie Brennan.
Thank you and good evening. So like everybody else within Parks and Rec, it's busy, busy, busy at the pool. Some of it's really good busy and some of it's not quite so good busy. I'll start on a positive note though. A lot going on with personnel and programming. So good news, looks like we're going to have plenty of lifeguards this summer. Just have to get them trained. We had a class in March that added 4 lifeguards, and then we have a class starting Wednesday that looks like it's going to add 8 lifeguards, 8 or 9 lifeguards, so that's really good news. And then we'll also be doing a water safety instructor course this week with 4 young ladies who are already lifeguards, but that will add to our capability of teaching more swimming lessons this summer. 2 of our existing staff members one got a promotion. Samantha Smith was promoted to head lifeguard, I believe that was in April. So she will be coming alongside Sierra and myself in overseeing the lifeguards and other staff, helping with training and scheduling and a whole lot of other things as we bring her along. So that's really good news. And then Robert Picardo, he's one of our other lifeguards who has a lot of experience in lifeguard training, and he himself does a whole number of things like triathlons and paddleboard competitions, and I don't know what all he does. Very active guy, but he's been appointed to provide ongoing lifeguard training and in-services, and he started some of that in April as well. We are gaining lots of interest for swimming lessons and aerobics classes with summer just around the corner. And with the added instructors, hoping that we just have a full pool this summer. We unfortunately were unable to host the elementary school days this year due to some work, a big project that didn't get completed, a pipe resting on the arrival of a pipe that I guess in this valley, a 5-inch diameter pipe is not real common. So I don't know where it was coming from, and it was ordered weeks ago, and it finally arrived on Thursday, I think it was. So we weren't able to be open back up in time for their elementary days last week on Thursday and Friday. Some of them will be participating in summer enrichment, so they'll still get to come to the pool in June. A really exciting note, the high school swim team had a successful year with the boys finishing first at both regionals and state, and the girls finishing second at both regionals and state. So if you see Sarah Carroll or any of the kids, be sure to congratulate them. That's very exciting. So a couple of other programming notes before I get into the facility news. We do plan on hosting the world's largest swimming lesson again this year, and that will be on June 22nd at noon. That's an event that takes place across the world, many countries besides the U.S., and it happens on the same day, just at different times. You can pick your own time. As long as it's held on the 22nd. And this is to stress the importance that swimming lessons save lives. And it gives kids who maybe have never had swimming lessons an introduction to lessons. The same lesson is taught all over the world. It's a 30-minute lesson. And I've already spoken with a number of our people who have volunteered in the past, including Dr. McNay. She does a fabulous job. So if any of the rest of you would like to volunteer that day, help out with the kiddos, we would appreciate your help. And then May, it always happens in May, but it's a hard time for the swimming pool because we're closed for the bubble down. But May is National Water Safety Month. Our mayor did put out a proclamation stating that May is National Water Safety Month. We do have some educational materials at the pool, and I did put some over at the Park and Rec office, just outside the office on the table there. There's coloring books for kids and information for parents and guardians about the importance of, keeping an eye on your children and getting them into swimming lessons and locking up those backyard pools and having alarms on doors and those kinds of things. Now, I will talk about the facility news. We had a number of things that were done while we were closed for the Bubble Down Week and seasonal maintenance. Most of it went really well, and as expected, we had one of the pool pumps replaced. And it purrs like, I don't know, I'm not even going to say a kitten, but it's so quiet in the mechanical room right now, I keep thinking something's wrong. Usually it's very loud in there. We had an overhead pipe replaced. Both the acid pump and the chlorine pumps were replaced, plus some valve adjustments. We had some deck tiles replaced and regrouted. This was before Bubble Down. I don't remember the dates, but the depth marker tiles were finally installed in the dive tank and the wading pool that they forgot to do when they were plastering. And then we had a really big project planned, and it's mostly complete, but ran into a hiccup. So the pipes going from the filtration pit to the pumps needed to be readjusted, needed this 5-inch line rather than the 4-inch line that was there. The pumps needed to be raised up because things were not level, and it was causing cavitation and some other problems in there. And the contractor who was doing that work got everything done once he got that length of pipe, but over it's a little hard to explain without a diagram, but over one of the pumps, things aren't quite lined up. So he came back this morning, still couldn't get it quite lined up, and he'll be back either Wednesday or Thursday. And he took some more measurements. He's going to build something in his shop and hope that he's got the elbow and everything lined up so that we can get that second pump online. So currently we're operating with just one pump, and what that means is that we can only operate the main pool. So it's circulating, chlorinating, et cetera. We won't be able to add the others until he gets this work done and we can turn on the second pump. And Saturday we discovered that the heater wouldn't come on. So after being closed for 2 weeks and we get all this other work done and we fire everything up and the heater won't ignite. We were supposed to get a new heater. It arrived on Tuesday, damaged. So it had to go back, and we're some weeks out now from another one arriving to be installed. And the heater tech just started a big project in Vegas, but he's going to try to squeeze us in and get out here and see if he can troubleshoot and Band-Aid the current heater so that we can get it operating. Because of the water temperature, we are only offering lap swim and open swim for those who want to dare the chilly waters. And we are canceling all of our aerobics classes right now. I think that might be everything. Do you have any questions for me?
Anyone?
Is the
Ms.
pool
McVeigh?
going to be open over Memorial Day weekend?
Yes, our hours are posted on the door and on the website. We will not be open Friday, but we will be open Saturday and Monday.
Not Sunday.
No. Sundays are hard to
Find staff.
staff, yes.
I know you've worked really hard on getting lifeguards, so well done.
It feels like how it used to feel. Like every spring, these kids would just come in and ask about being a lifeguard. And the last few years, we haven't had that. And so I had somebody call today. Actually, we had 2 people call today. Said, yep, come in and take your prerequisite swims and we'll get you in the class. The class that starts Wednesday.
Well, I love the photo of Bob and Danny, the 70-year-old lifeguards and volunteers, 70-plus years old.
Yes.
So have you gotten any seniors to apply for lifeguard positions when you showed them?
Not at this time. They're all teenagers.
Well, they keep asking me because I'm in my 70s too. I'm too
Yes.
busy.
Anyone else? Thank you. Next is item number 7, verbal report from Director Hall regarding mountain biking aerial trail system at Bootleg Canyon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, as the summer heat goes up, mountain biking at Bootleg Canyon seems to go down, except for early mornings. And it's the best for riding, and many of our local riders take advantage of the cooler weather in the morning. Racing events will begin in September again and go throughout the fall, winter, and spring months until the summer heat hits again. Nothing to report on the aerial trail system. The Community Development Department is working towards getting all of the equipment inspected to make sure it's safe, and I'll keep you posted as we move forward with this. Our plan of attack was to get it all inspected and then possibly put it out, the operation of the aerial trail system or the zip line, put it out for RFP and see if any other organization or people would like to do that. So I'll keep you posted as we move forward.
Thank you. Any questions for Director Hall? Okay, we'll move on to item number 8. Time for Parks and Recreation Commission reports. Ms. McVeigh, do you have anything?
Well, you know, I was wondering how we're doing. Have we used up all the American Rescue Plan and Art Act monies that we were designated for what? For youth sports and pool fees and all that? Or are we going to get more? Or where's the status?
So the status for the free swim lessons and free sports for kids goes all the way through the end of 2014. So as of right now, 2024. So as of right now, there's no necessary cap on that. It's just going to be extended until 2024. So.
May I interject?
Sure.
It's not free swimming lessons, it's free open swim.
My bad. My apologies. Yes, it's open swim and then youth sports.
And I was wondering how the whole online registering and all that is going for people, how that's working out.
It's amazing. People absolutely love it. They love the convenience of it. They find it just a huge asset and benefit to them. So it's been really, really nice.
Have you had to do a lot of training, though, about people who aren't real good with their computers?
You know what, on occasion we do, and we let them know up front. If you need help, we can definitely walk you through. At the beginning, we were doing that on a regular basis. Now, it's just every once in a while we'll get somebody that needs that assistance, and somebody from the staff will just go right out into the hallway with them. They have the computer turned around, and it makes it easy peasy, and typically they're like, oh, well, I didn't realize it was that easy, which it does help a little bit when there's somebody kind of guiding you and talking you through it. So it's been great. It's been wonderful, and it's been a really nice way that we can kind of assist the community as far as, you know, if they are struggling with those things, they're very surprised that we're willing to just, you know, come over to the side counter and walk them through it right there on that computer. Makes it a lot easier for them.
They can access activities more, right? Because they just go on the computer. They don't have, if you're closed on Fridays and Saturdays and stuff, but if they can go on the computer and sign up.
It's at their convenience, at what time makes it easy. You know, working parents love it because they can do it, you know, at 6 o'clock in the morning before they're off to work and the kids are heading over to Safekey. That way they're assured that they pay for it on time, ahead of time, and at their own schedule. And we've noticed, I don't think we've actually completely done the data yet, but it appears as though a lot more people are renting facilities. And we think that's part of it. They can start that process right at home, online, whether it's for a gazebo or for a park or for a wedding, and it just makes it very, very easy and convenient for them to start the process. Then our staff gets notification that somebody is requesting a park or facility, and then we reach out to them and let them know what they need to do to finalize that action. So it's been great.
Well, I think it's good that Jennifer got the drop-in thing set up on some of the classes, because if you don't, like, I'm gone a lot, so I don't want to sign up for a month because I'll miss them all. So, but I like the fact that she did that drop-in for a lot of the classes that I sign in, so that's convenient. Thank you, Jennifer.
Anyone else?
I do have one thing. I also passed around the 75th annual Jamboree flyer here. Again, we're going great guns. We started planning this thing, the Jamboree Committee in the city started planning this thing in January. And 7 o'clock, a Rotary Pancake Breakfast at Bicentennial Park. The Boulder City Veterans Flying Group will start the parade off at 9 a.m. Grand Marshals for this year will be the veterans at the Southern Nevada Veterans Home. So they'll be at the front of the parade, and it'll be a good chance to salute those heroes. Broadbent Park, a parade goes to Broadbent Park. This year, no water trucks allowed in the water zone of the parade. Everyone will dump out at 10 o'clock at Broadbent Park. We have a coin toss at the swimming pool at 11 a.m. And festivities at Veterans Memorial Park begin at 4 o'clock. Music by Mike Pacini again this year. We have a great fireworks show scheduled. You'll be impressed by that. And then Mike Pacini kicks off or finishes off the evening with music. I'd like to thank Jen Spinkling for helping out with this year's Jamboree and all the Jamboree committee members who put a lot of time into this thing. There's a small number of people that make this happen. Carla is a member of the Jamboree committee and board of directors. And but thank you all, and thank the city staff for putting on the coin toss and doing a lot of other things for this event. So, any questions on the Jamboree?
Didn't you guys get an award for putting this on for, what did the city acknowledge?
We
you guys
did
for this?
last
Didn't
year,
that-
yep.
Was that
We're-
last year that you got it for
Yep,
the?
very proud of that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, and with that, we'll open for public comment. Public comment's open this time on any topic, and speakers may speak for up to 5 minutes. Anyone in the audience? There are none. If you'd like to call in, you may do so by calling 702-589-9629. And do we have any written comment? No written comment.
No, it's just the volume.
Yeah, it's just the volume. Testing the volume.
Again, if anyone wants to make public comment at this time, you may do so by calling 702-589-9629. And it seems as though no one's calling and no one's changing the volume, so with that, we'll adjourn this meeting.
I second that.